Welcome to another episode of Unmuted. And today we're talking about doing things scared. Because let me tell you something. I have been shaking in my boots. Okay. I knew that I wanted to change directions with how I'm doing my business. And part of that is because with the economy, with the trust recession that people talk about, meaning like a lot of people aren't trusting. And then just with what I know about how people are moving with like when it comes to professional development, right? And how a lot of job seekers and people working, they don't trust recruiters, they don't trust career coaches, they don't trust resume writers. Like all of us got lumped into this like I don't know, this jumbled mess. And so now a lot of people just aren't as trusting. And so I'm like, nah, y'all need to get this work. So how am I going to do this? And I realized that I could go through corporate partnerships, right? And have corporate sponsors to have their employees join my program, Command the Room Sis. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because in my career, throughout my career over the last decade, I have felt so many ways about being accepted by corporate and things like that. And like I know that you've heard me talk about be bold, be audacious, and all of these things. When even I myself sometimes get nervous. Like this last round of looking for jobs was especially hard because I mean, job market's a hot mess right now, right? And I just feel like with so much rejection, how am I with no degree and crazy colored hair and clearly a thug with a voice and like I'm not scared of speaking out and all of these things. Like even if you don't know me and you look at my LinkedIn, you can tell that about me. And so I was nervous. I legit was shaking in my boots. And I feel like I hid for a minute. Now, at the same time, I've had a lot of things going on. I had dental work being done, which is still en route. I had the Feast of God at church. So I have had early morning and evening services for the last 10 days. Um, it ended on Sunday. So I've been tired, right? And then all around just like my hormones and my thyroid and like just so many things going on, right? That it allowed me to kind of be in my own little bubble. But midway through that, I would say for the past month, not even that long, but like the past couple weeks, past 2 to 3 weeks, I've just been feeling this urge to have this shift. And why am I bringing this up, right? This is not a business podcast. This is about careers and things like that. But this is my career. And so when it comes to doing things, the confidence doesn't come from the proof. It amplifies it, like don't get me wrong, but the confidence comes from just doing the thing. Because a lot of times, whether it's rejection, whether it's silence, whether it's yes, but whatever the case may be, that's all data, right? And I feel like because of how I was already feeling about corporate and about myself, and as I'm approaching 40 now, I have all these feelings. Like I have all of these feelings, and I've just been really nervous. And finally, because I was like, all right, let me do this thing. I started writing the website because the website, if you have seen it already from before, you would know that it was geared towards B2C, meaning consumer. So I was talking directly to the employees that would be in Command Room Says, talk to them about promotion readiness and all of this stuff, right? And I had to basically take my message and translate that to corporate. And I was having such a tough time because I was not staying true to me. Like I always talk about not code switching, right? You don't have to be palatable to be promotable, all of this stuff. And yet I found myself wanting to be safe, wanting to still get the message out, but saying, underrepresented or, women in general. And it just, when I tell you it wasn't coming out right, it was miserable. I was miserable writing this page. And finally, after getting coached from several of my business coaches, because I have a team, I realized that part of my block was that I was not being true to me. And so, what does this have to do with you, right? I'm saying this to you because oftentimes when you're in your career and things aren't meshing well, things aren't aligning well, a lot of times you got to look to see, are you being true to yourself? Are you being true to the kind of role you want? Are you being true to the kind of responsibilities you want? Are you being true to even being at the company that you're at? Like, do you even want to be there? Do you like your industry? Do you like your manager? Do you like your coworkers? All of these things are changeable. But because we rather stick to the devil we know, we stay uncomfortable. We stay not growing, right? We stay in this place where it's a safe little bubble, but there's no growth. There's no change. And we become miserable more and more and more until finally we don't even recognize ourselves. And that's what was happening to me for like a week with this website. And so finally I said, bump this, bump this. I am just going to be true to me. And at the same time, I got asked to do a podcast called Code Switch Rebellion, which I will link that somewhere so that you all can have access to it because it was such a great podcast. Um, and it made me realize, speaking about being authentic and helping women to do the same thing, that I wasn't being authentic to myself. So I scrapped the entire thing and I redid it the way that I wanted to redo it. And when I tell you, I got it done within like 2 to 3 hours. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. And so it made me realize I needed to be true to what my message was. I couldn't hide back. I couldn't shrink back. I couldn't pretend anymore. Right. I couldn't put on this like act as though that's how I speak. Cause it's not. Like, I want employers to know that the reason why a lot of Black and brown women disengage is not because of them, it's because of y'all. It's because there's no growth, there's no room to grow. And this program is all about how to find those places of opportunities, how to make yourself more promotable, how to speak the same language as employers so that you can show your professional value. And ultimately, if they don't accept that, well, then, hey, we build your exit plan, right? And obviously, that's not part of the messaging, but because no employer wants to leave or wants to allow their talent to leave, but we gotta give to get, right? So anyway, I finally figured that out, and I finally was true to myself and wrote it the way that I wanted to, and it came out so good. Like, it came out so good. But then I was still nervous because I'm like, all right, most people aren't just going to stumble on the website. Like, a lot of this, especially in the beginning, is going to be outreach. So who am I? Who who am I that they're going to want me? I am not known in my industry. I am not known on social media like that. Like, I'm just not known, and it's not a reflection on me per se, but I'm building. So who am I that they would choose me out of all people? And I really had to do a lot of prayer and do a lot of introspection and really figure my crap out, because how can I coach women who feel the same and not embody this myself? Like, that's insane. And it took me the last 2 weeks to really just be like, nah, yeah, nah. I've been doing this for a decade. I say, why me? But why not me? Why not? At this moment in time, I'm not really going for the Googles and the this and the that. And it's not for anything other than I want the path of, I don't want to say least resistance, but less resistance than some corporate white company, right? Some big corporate company. I want the minority led, the women led, the black led organizations that have 200, 300, 800 people, 1,000 people even, right? Because that's still not small, right? That's nothing to sneeze at, as people say. But I'd realized like I was still playing small with myself. So as I'm looking at these companies and I'm like, okay, I can reach out to them, I can reach out to them. You want to know who came up? Savage X Fenty. And I said, wait a minute, no, there's no way. There was no way that the Rihanna's company would go for me. And again, I had to remind myself, why not me? It's in these moments where you start doubting yourself and doubting, you know, whether you'll be accepted, whether people will really want to invest in you and things like that, that you have to remind yourself of your freaking value. Like, it's not like I'm just some coach that got my certification and was like, boom, here I am. No, I've literally been doing the same thing, helping people, especially Black and Brown people, either find a new job or excel in their current job. Like this is not new for me. So why was I acting as though I'm new on the scene? Yeah, they may not know me, but that doesn't discount my work at all. And then I also realized I was charging way too less. These are companies. These are not your average Joe and Josephines. This is corporate money. Oh, absolutely not. So there was a lot of things that I've had to do over the last few weeks to really get my mind together. Listen, we back. And guess what? We also sent that email out to Savage Fenty. And we are not stopping there. So I am so proud of me for overcoming and believing and reminding myself who the heck I am, not because of me, but because I know that God has blessed me with the ability to do the things that I've done and the things that I will continue to do. And knowing that my goals aren't just about my physical life, like it's also about my spiritual life. It's about supporting my church and being able to just give freely without even blinking. But I can't do that if I don't have income. What did the math say? Can't make the scene if you don't have the green. And so sometimes you have to have radical faith in God and in yourself or whatever you believe. I'm not here to judge. But the point is, I forgot who I was. And now that I remember, now that I've been sending these emails out, let me tell you something. I checked my email this morning, mind you, because of all the things I had said in the beginning with the dental and the church and the this and the that, I only had gotten to send out 6 outreach messages by Friday of last week. It is now Tuesday. I didn't do anything yesterday. Like I basically slept and recovered. So today I started sending out messages again, but before I could even do anything, out of the 6 companies, one of them responded asking to brainstorm about how we can do this with their budget. And I'm just, when I tell you I'll tickle pink, boy, like I am so excited right now. And it just reminded me that the only one putting limitation on me is me. And so I want you to really think, what limitations are you putting on yourself? Where are you doubting yourself and why? What are those voices in your brain saying this? Like what proof? We always got to think facts over feelings. So what are the facts here? Are there facts to support what you're actually thinking about yourself, what you're saying about yourself, how you're feeling about yourself, that you can't get to that next level role, that you can't go to that big wig company that you've been eyeing for forever? What are the facts that say that you can't? For everything that you think this is why it won't work, I want you to name an equal reason of why it can work. I've said it before, I will say it again. Our brains be lying to us. And if we don't make conscious efforts to remind ourselves who the heck we are, we will start believing those lies. And when you believe those lies, you will be stuck exactly where you are in life, in business, in your corporate life, whatever. So, listen, y'all, I am so excited about all the things that have been happening, that will happen, that are happening now. And I can't wait to keep y'all posted because, listen, we bike. So, I would love for you to come into Command the Room, sis, if you are a Black or brown woman, mid-career, 5 years or more in your career. See if you can get your company to pay. Because why would you do it if they do it for you? Professional development, baby. So check out the website. It's going to be linked. And if this is something that you're interested in and you're not sure how to approach it to your employer, email me. My email will be there as well. And you can let me know, this is what I'm interested in doing. This is where I am in my career. This is what I want to do. Help. And I got you. We will craft together a way that you can introduce this to your employer. And let's say your employer doesn't pay. I have a way for you to still join at a lower price. Okay. So thank you so much for tuning into another episode. I don't even know how long I've been talking. I don't think very long, at least not as long as I typically talk. So I wanted to give y'all some relief today, but let's see what happens on the next episode. Bye.